all you right-wingers are like, oh, I don't want to pay for HIV medicine in Africa. Why do you think we do that? It's not because we give a shit about the Africans who have HIV. We do that because it gives America influence. It counters China's Belts and Roads, at least now it does, because that started well before China's Belts and Roads. And see, it gives us connections to these governments, which we can use when we want to extract something from those governments.
Oh.
How we doing? What's the state of our union, gang? And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give each of these lovely, wonderful individuals a chance to introduce themselves and have some brief opening statements. And we will start with the lovely Visora. Go ahead, give us what you got.
Oh, well, thank you. What's up? I'm Visora. I'm a streamer on Twitch. I talk about politics and sometimes some social issues. I'm a libertarian socialist. And as for the state of our union, I think our union is in a lot of trouble. I don't think it's in any good state at all. As you can see, the economy from today and from yesterday, as well as a lot of other social issues, law-related issues, ignoring of the courts, as well as some insane shit with Elon in the federal government and the treasury. Like, everything is bad. We've just dropped all of our alliances with Europe and are now allied with Russia. The entire global, like, order has flipped on its head, and it looks like we're coming out on the bottom. So that's my opening statement.
Well, thank you for being here, and we'll see how it goes. What do you got for us, Gibbs?
Hey, I'm Admiral Gibbs. You can find me everywhere as Admiral Gibbs. I host the Debate Championship Series and the Give Me a Break panel. Let's see. I gotta say, I want y'all to know my pronouns are I am correct. That is my pronoun. So if you disagree with me, you are wrong. And guess what? Here's the facts. America is on pace to be the greatest it's ever been. Potentially. I'm so excited. It's like America's healing since Trump has gotten in office. Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down from Star Wars. We got all sorts of good shit going down. I'm excited to get into this and why Trump is goated. Thank you.
Okay, well, we will get into it, I'm sure. Thanks for being here. Next up, Irrelevant, please.
Howdy. I'm Irrelevant, AH Relevant on all platforms. As for the State of the Union, I think we are very much headed for disaster. I think we're already in a disastrous state. The weaponization of the DOJ and corrupt actions from the Trump administration has made this regime already a nightmare. People have felt the economic squeeze already, and based on the projections for the tariffs, it looks like it's going to get much worse. So, yeah, we're definitely not in a good state. We need to rein this in and figure out a way to, not have this get much worse. And I'm not sure there's much we can do. We just have to, just hope people come to their senses.
Oh, what a great strategy. But thank you for being here, and we will certainly get into it. Next up, first time guest on my show. Hopefully not last time. We'll see. Grid Motorsports, what do you have for us, sir?
Yeah, I'm Grid One Motorsports. I do commentary, interviews, and that sort of thing on my channel on YouTube. Don't do really much of anything on Twitch or Rumble. It's just kind of boring, so I pretty much stick to YouTube. And yeah, that's about what it is. As far as the State of the Union, I think definitely we're coming out of some shit. We're going to have to move forward into we're going to have to go through some more before it gets better. But I do see I see bright lights on the horizon. I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it. Let's go.
Okay, and with that, let's get into it. I guess let's start with one of the big questions on my mind, the economy. We've seen projections come out that in the first quarter we're going to have a GDP drop of about 2.8%. We have seen the Dow Jones lose over 1,000 points in the last 2 days. What's going on here? Sell me, Gibbs. Why is this a good state? Sell me on this.
See, listen, if you are an economic savant like I was one such as myself, then you will realize and you will know that stocks are just indicative of like a day-to-day feeling. They go up, they go down. I could tell somebody that tea was going up in China, and then semiconductors prices would go up in East Estonia. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much on a day-to-day basis. In fact, in the words of the great conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but he did say something that's pertinent. Trump's going in there to clean out the swamp and get things back on track. I don't expect him to get not to get shit up to his ankles. So whenever we've been sitting here dealing with all these unfair trade deals for such a long time, it's wonderful for him to come in here and slap some people around and get some deals done in our best interest. I don't like Trudeau today. I don't know why Trudeau wants to play chicken with a American grizzly that is our economy, but he's going to lose that battle. And I think that once again, it's wonderful that we're sitting here doing these things because they have been taking advantage of us. And I see a lot of people on the left sitting here screaming, "Woe is me." Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes the status quo needs to be shaken up, and the status quo has been real shitty for like a lot of Americans for a real long time. And it's wonderful now that someone's sticking up for those Americans.
It's an open discussion. Go ahead,
Okay.
gang. What do you
I
think?
just want to throw in there that the United States imports about $400 billion worth of goods from Canada every year, whereas
Cool, what are
Canada
those goods?
imports about $270 billion worth of goods. Whereas much of the things that we in America can make require base raw materials that we also import from Canada, such as lumber for houses, such as steel for buildings. Much
I
of
know
the-
something about this. Can I help you with the lumber thing? Because
Yeah,
I actually
go
know
for it.
something
No,
about
go
that.
for it.
Yeah, so the Canadian companies got really pissed off back in the day because we did put a tariff on the lumber, and what ended up happening is that they actually found it cheaper to buy lumber area, basically acreage. Actually, in my state here in Tennessee, they quit that because it's cheaper for them to actually raise the trees in Brazil, South America, and they ship them into the U.S. So they've been paying tariffs anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I think that's a really great talking point, but it's a very poor thing in reality because it's just a Canadian company, and what they'll do is they'll just become an American company, and they won't have to pay the tariffs anymore. Gibbs is right. It's just business
I
101.
disagree entirely. So first of all, like those
That's great.
exact lumberers are happy that these tariffs are going through because it's going to create a larger economy in Canada that is separate from the United States. Secondly, that lumber that we import from Brazil, the specific like grow the trees so we can cut them down for wood, that wood is shit. It's garbage. Everything we make with it is weak.
Actually, that's untrue too.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
because
that's
Where
not
do
true at all.
you get this?
because the
I mean,
wood
I literally,
that is
I'm
grown
literally a
quickly to be cut and sold does not have the time to become as
It's
it's
straighter.
it,
So
you
okay,
can tell the difference between
I
let's
find
say
this strange that
Okay,
we're
Take
talking
it-
just
about
let
hold
me
on,
give you a
hold on.
If
One
you
at a
cut
time,
a
one at a
tree-
time. Finish, Visora, and then you can respond.
if you cut a
So-
tree that is 100 years old, same kind of tree as the other one, right? You cut one and you make a wooden plank out of it. Then you raise a tree, the same kind of tree, and within 1 year, you cut that down and make a plank with it. Which of these planks is stronger? Are they the same?
Wait, you
to
want us to cut 100-year-old
Hold
trees
on.
down?
So
No,
let me-
I'm asking you a question.
I find it
Do you
shocking
think
that we're
that there's a
talking about lumber
difference?
here, but I will
Just-
educate you if you'd like to learn.
I just want to know, do you think there's a difference between
No,
the wood?
if you'd like the truth of the matter, I'll be glad to help you.
Sure, go for it.
Tell us the truth,
So,
Greg.
so
Tell
the
us the
reality
truth.
is that the best white pine in America comes from Louisiana, where it grows really fast and really straight and not very knotty. But it grows better in Brazil. Same reasons, because the all of the various things that go into the reasons that trees and things grow really fast in the jungle and the rainforest. Very ideal conditions, I guess you would say. But now it's true that if we're looking at walnut or oak or hardwoods, which are very expensive, and we don't actually get very many of those from much of that from Canada, but we do get them from, say, Texas, where Gibbs lives, and Tennessee, where I live, and Georgia, where they grow. I got a walnut tree in front of my house. I'd love to get rid of, but
You've yet to answer my question.
that's very expensive wood, and you would be correct about that. If you try and grow a walnut tree in Brazil, it doesn't really work because it's a hardwood. Well, we're not talking about that. We're talking about construction lumber, and construction lumber is largely white pine. And white pine grows very fast, very straight, and with excellent grain structure in Brazil.
Okay.
I love
Is there a
talking points
difference?
provided by people who don't know anything about lumber industry.
I love
but
asking
it's
a
great.
question and getting a giant answer that has nothing to do with my question and still doesn't answer it. Is there a difference
Hold on,
between
that was a
is
100%
there a
answer to your
difference
question.
between the white
Answer.
pine, the planks that you make from it? Is there a difference in quality between a 100-year-old tree?
Yeah, the
Yes,
100-year-old one is
Brazilian stuff is
shittier.
better.
101-year-old one is shittier. Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, that tracks with what I think about you, Gibbs.
Okay.
I'm just telling
So
you.
can I just
let's get irrelevant in here. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Give it a-
what does this have to do with the fact that it's going to become more expensive to import? I don't know. You can talk about whether or not
Brazil
it's going to
doesn't
come
have
from
tariffs.
Brazil. Doesn't matter. It's going to be more expensive to import at end of the day.
Sure.
But we're
Because
already importing
Canadian
it from
companies
Brazil.
will do exactly what they did the last
Okay,
time
hold
this
on.
happened.
You just said we already
That's not what they're
import it,
doing.
and that's not an argument. We already import it.
Yeah, we're just
it's going to
it'll
the cost of it is
it'll
going to
probably become
increase.
cheaper.
Canadian
That's not an
companies
The
argument.
Paying
Canadian
American jobs.
companies are not
Okay,
coming to America.
hold on. Everyone stop. One at a time because you're all talking over each other. Irrelevant, ask a question. I want to give. I see it, but I want to give Gibbs and Grid a chance to answer his question,
Okay.
and then we can get you in there, Visora. Okay. Irrelevant, ask a question. Go ahead, answer him. Gibbs, go ahead, answer him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's real simple, right? We have evidence that last time we put tariffs on Canada, how the companies moved down. They moved down here to America, which opened up more jobs. Secondly, as Grid's already stated, basically the 100-year-old tree, it's shittier. I'm sorry, it's just shittier. And first of all, if you are actually eco-friendly, you probably don't want them cutting down 100-year-old trees. But hey, this is the party of the ecology over here. They want us to cut down 100-year-old trees for lumber instead of the fast-grown, better trees in Brazil. But hey, what do I know? This is the real Einstein take over here. But furthermore, yeah, I mean, we already know that they'll come to America when we've done tariffs. We've done it before. A bunch of companies already are considering moving to America. That brings jobs to, guess what? Americans. Name one. All right, cool. I got a list here. Let's go to
because Canadian companies.
KMPG. We got let's see. I got a whole bunch of just Google these. I got about 100 of them say they're.
What are you Googling?
All you gotta do is Google. Companies planning on moving to America due to tariffs. I mean, it's not hard to look up. KPMG right there, specializing in tax and law. They're opening a new administration center in America. That's one right there. I mean, there's just I don't understand how you can even argue. This is how it works.
So two quick questions.
Really quickly, please. Let me just. What the fuck does tax law have to do with tariffs? Like a company that does tax law doesn't pay tariffs
what does
anyway.
Tax law have to do with tariffs?
They're not paying tariffs doing tax law. They're not producing anything. But whatever. I want Irrelevant to ask this question.
You think that if you own a company in another country, because this is something I'm familiar with now, because I do have franchises in other countries. Yeah. You think that if I have a franchise in, say, I don't know, Belgium or the UK, that they don't have to pay UK taxes or Belgian taxes?
No, of course they do. But do you think that has anything to do with tariffs?
Of course they do. Yet it has to do a lot with US law.
What does that have to do with tariffs?
Hold on, if I may ask, because I'm confused now. Did Trump put tariffs on tax companies?
No, that there's companies.
Okay, so why are we talking about that?
Directly due to the tariffs, Wick? That was the question was asked? They're moving directly here, and that was just the first one I pulled up. How they're building offices here?
If there's no tariffs on them, why is that connected? If there's no tariffs put on those companies,
because it's a new industry, fam. It's a new industry.
Okay.
To be clear, we weren't talking about tax companies moving. We were talking about lumber companies moving. So let's make that clear. Do you have a list? Do you have? No, you were asked to name a lumber company who was going to move to America from Canada. That's what you were asked to name.
Let me tell you.
You have a list of some Canadian lumber companies that are moving to America.
No. You didn't have. Nobody said lumber. This is
that was the topic of the conversation. If you weren't following, I mean, that's tough.
No. I'm sorry. You're not following. The question was name one company moving to the U.S. and I named one.
In the context of us talking about lumber, it was us talking about lumber.
GVA Lighting. How about JLD Epoxy Coating and Rebar? How about Micro Art Services Inc. How about
so I'm going to ask my questions then. If all of these incredibly prestigious big companies are moving over, if all of these incredibly big prestigious companies are moving over to the United States, tell me why economists, tell me why the people who are investing money in the United States are pulling out.
Good question.
Why is the money
What?
leaving?
Candace,
Why is the money
nobody cares.
leaving if,
Let
according
them
to you,
leave, let
these
Americans
big,
get it.
huge billion-dollar, these huge companies, big companies are coming to
Like who?
America? Why
Like
is
who?
everyone pulling their money out, bro?
Who's leaving?
Why are they
Who's
pulling?
leaving?
Have you
What
looked
do you
at the
mean?
stock market?
Have you seen the stock market, bro? We've
It's
tanked.
1 day of stocks.
Two,
One day.
actually.
How
It's
many
not
stocks
1
do you
day of
need?
stocks.
How many
It's been
stocks do you
of
own?
several days, as well
Two
as
days of
projections.
stocks.
Let
The
everyone
dollar
just
is
finish.
down
Let everyone
2000. The economic impact of just the last 2 days has already surpassed the 2008 financial crisis, you fucking moron.
Wow. Yeah, this just sounds like people that don't know how to invest. All my stocks are up, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I mean, listen,
Wait,
you
hold
you're
on.
talking
Which
about
stocks do you
overall
have?
value.
Yeah, which stock?
I'm good
Tesla's
with it. Don't worry
down.
about it.
Are you like
Tesla's
Elon?
down.
When Tesla's down, what do you
Nvidia's
invest
I
down.
in?
don't have Elon. I don't have Tesla stock.
Nvidia.
Don't worry about it.
literally
Wait, no,
everything
you
is down.
just said your stocks are up. Which stocks do you have? Tell me
Defense-
which stock.
Don't worry about
Tell
it.
me your
So all of
portfolio,
them.
bro.
I can
My
tell you.
portfolio is fantastic. What's your
All of them?
portfolio?
Then
Do
you're
you have
down,
stock?
bro. The Dow Jones down. The S&P down,
The
bro.
only
What
stocks
stocks
that
do
are
you
up-
have?
Do you think that just because the overall market's down, that every stock in the
The
whole
only
I'm
market goes
stocks
asking
down?
that
you.
are
You
gone
just
up.
said you
This
were
is the
up.
economy.
What do you have
Economics
that's up?
101.
What do
Don't
you
worry
have
about
that's
it.
up?
What do you own a stock? Like at
Yeah,
all?
I have money in the
What do you
S&P
own?
500. It's not doing well.
Cool. Oh well, that sucks. Get better fucking
The
accountant. Better
only
fucking
Yeah, I'm
stocks
looking for a
that
better
have gone
president
up.
too. Now,
Management
you said
firms?
you were up. You said you were up.
I'm
So
up.
tell me what you're up
I'm not gonna divulge all my.
Yeah, all right.
only
Yeah, all right.
stocks
Okay.
that have
All right.
gone
All
up-
right. Then.
The
Okay,
only
bro.
stocks that have gone up
I mean,
that are U.S.
listen,
companies
this is not
are
the first time
defense
here.
contractors.
Stocks that I have. I'm just not sitting
Okay.
here.
What do you have,
losing
like Novo
all my
Nordisk and
portfolio.
Wegovy?
Let's talk.
Defense stocks have gone up.
Yeah, defense stock.
And guess what? I probably own a lot of, huh?
But
Surprise,
here's the deal.
surprise.
Okay.
Enjoy making your money off
We're getting
the,
beside the
deaths
point a
of
little bit, right?
brown children.
I guess let me just start with the baseline so we can kind of get where everyone is.
Prison stocks.
Raise your hand if you think that the tariffs that Trump has applied to Canada and Mexico are going to be good for America, whether short term, long term, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Why?
Yeah.
Give us that argument, and then we'll. I'm going to give it to Grid. Give us your argument, and then we'll discuss it. Why are the Trump tariffs going to be, in your opinion, good for the economy, or good for America, I should say? Grid, you're up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was. I thought you said Gibbs.
Nope.
I apologize. I was maybe not paying attention. So overall, I think that when we look at tariffs, you have to really understand that every country in the world has a tariff on American goods going in, and we actually subsidize them bringing their goods here, which actually has hurt American manufacturing and production over the years. And it's a really bad thing, I think, especially when we're complaining about the loss of jobs. We're talking about not making things here, not building things here, not, when we're offshoring all of these various jobs, including tech jobs and that sort of thing, then tariffs start to make a lot of sense because you start buying at home. Now, we can argue, and I think unsuccessfully, but you could argue that the raw material aspect of it is a big deal. But we have a lot of raw materials here that we choose not to use because up until now, it's just being more convenient to have material that has been subsidized by the government brought in.
Can I ask a question?
With all of that ending and the raw material that we're offshore or onshoring from other countries being brought in, that makes American lumber again attractive. And again, I'm picking on lumber. I shouldn't. Well, let's just use American made fucking anything. Like silicon chips left Silicon Valley and went to Taiwan and Japan because they could just make them cheaper. And maybe now they can't. Now now all of that production goes back to Silicon Valley.
Can I ask
To
a
be
question?
clear, Biden stimulated domestic chip production. He spent a lot of money on that. That's Biden.
Literally
by the
everything
way.
Trump
It's
is
not
taking
Trump, it's
credit
Biden.
for. Yeah, exactly.
No,
It is Biden.
Biden okayed that.
I have a question
move
though. A real question,
offshoring
please.
chip manufacturing. Trump denied it the first time. He said, no, can't do
Understand, I agree with you that under normal economic circumstances, this would bring jobs to America, right? Now, here's my question for you.
You just don't like Trump.
No, here's my actual question for you.
That's it.
If goods are produced in the United States by American workers, those goods will cost more to buy as a purchaser. Like if you buy a shirt from Shein for $2, that's a different cost than if you go to an American-made clothing manufacturer and you buy a shirt from them. Now, what I'm asking you is what
Oh, no, you can't get
policies are
Shein.
in place that will ensure that your wages will go up enough that you will be able to afford the increased cost in the goods that now have to be manufactured in the United States? Is there any policy, is there any talk, any mention of raising your wages in any way? Instead of like just creating jobs is one thing.
First of all, the government doesn't control wages. That would be communism if they did, and we don't have that as a
We
form of
have a
government.
federal
God.
minimum wage, man.
Wait, the minimum wage?
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
that is socialist tendencies right there.
Well, the federal minimum,
Sure.
nobody actually gets paid the minimum wage, bro.
That's not true at
Yes,
all.
they do. In Alabama, as to my knowledge, in Alabama, you
Wait,
get
wait,
paid
what's
the
the-
minimum
hold on.
wage.
That's fine. But
Hold
what's the
on,
cost
dude.
of living
The
in
guy-
The
Alabama?
state minimum
making
wage
burgers
is
is
More
late.
than
lower than the federal
$7.25
minimum.
per hour can give
What
you.
is-
But here's my
about?
question.
What is
That
the
means
cost of living in
anything.
Why would your
Alabama?
wages go up? Why would
Cost
your
of
wages
living
go
is
up?
low.
In any way?
Oh, there you
Fuck
go.
the
Hold on.
government. Give me any reason why your
You
wages
guys
would
just
go
said
up.
minimum wage, and I refuted that by saying nobody makes it. The guy working at Chick-fil-A can't hire people at $14 an hour. Federal minimum wage is what, $7.50?
$7.25, yeah. But like, forget that. Forget the
$7.25?
federal minimum
Okay,
wage.
I think
that's
the McDonald's
double
offers
minimum
14.50
wage.
Take the
now.
government
And
out
so
of it. Why would it happen?
and they literally can't
Look-
even hire people at that because there's so many jobs where they can make more money.
Yeah,
What are you
McDonald's
talking
is
about?
average. McDonald's average pay is like $14.50.
Okay,
now.
so if you
They
get rid
literally
of minimum
advertise that on
wage-
other things. So minimum wage is a non-factor. This
Sure.
is just a
Okay.
lefty.
Why would your
bullshit
wages go
talking
up then?
point.
If we take minimum wage out of it, why would your wages
Do
go up?
you understand how the free market works?
Yes,
the free
I do.
market?
I do actually.
Yeah,
Do you
so it's called
understand
supply,
how?
demand.
Do you understand how capitalism works? A CEO's
I
job
do.
is
I'm
literally
quite good at it.
a CEO has fiduciary responsibility to make sure that the stockholders, the actual like people that they work for, gain as much as possible, which means there is
Yes.
incentive to pay you as little as possible, which has been
No,
evidentiated
no.
for literally decades.
Have you ever
If
heard
you
the-
can't agree with
Listen,
that,
have
then
you
you
ever heard the
literally
expression-
don't live in reality.
You're wrong. You're wrong because there's also an expression, and this is a age-old business expression.
Mm-hmm.
You get what you pay for, right? It's called you get what you pay
That's
for.
true.
And so if you hire quality people and pay them market value or better than market value, guess what? You retain better people and your business thrives. This is age-old business tactics 101. This is what I do
Yeah,
in my business.
on
I
a
don't pay my
normal
people
economic
a minimum
system.
wage. I don't pay my people below minimum wage. I don't pay my people shit. My goal is to make them as rich as possible. And guess what? I have a like 80% higher retention rate than almost any other company in my industry. That's why, like, it's just really that simple. So you're just arguing these things
This
that are
is bullshit
unequivocally
because
not
you
true.
are not a manufacturer. You don't own a fucking factory. We're talking about
I do. Well,
I am a
manufactured goods.
manufacturer. I'm a cattle manufacturer. I'm an
I do.
agricultural business.
All you produce is grift. So, like, what are we talking about? Physical goods.
Grift.
I actually own a
grift. Hold on, I own a
actually own a
ranch. I
factory.
produce cattle. Like I also do B2B sales. I own multiple businesses. So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you produce other than bullshit? I actually produce beef. It's what's for dinner. Might have heard that one before.
Oh, you know
What
that's
do you produce?
bad for your testosterone levels, did you? I don't produce any
Hey,
of that.
that's still good to
This
eat.
is my job.
My
I,
testosterone ain't hurt.
We are far
Hold
off
on,
the
hold on.
beaten path.
I produce
again,
content.
Okay, Grid, I'll give it to you, but we are. I
you.
want to stick on tariffs, but go ahead, Grid.
Yeah, so I actually buy and sell companies, and I own. I can't actually tell you exactly what, and I can't really talk. You notice I was really quiet when we started talking about stocks because I legally can't talk about stocks in a public setting because I have insider information, so I can't do that. Even in general terms, I don't risk that. But one of the things is that why do you think that a company pays more for good help? Because it increases production. Because only the lowest level of jobs get paid shitty. And I'm just going to take a welder for example. Right now, I know I can buy a welder for $14.50 to $16 an hour, but he's going to be a shitty ass welder and probably not going to show up every day. And I need shit done. So I pay up to $40 an hour for a welder. Sit there and weld. That's blue collar as it gets, baby.
Okay,
You know?
what
So
does
I don't know
this have
what
to
you're.
do with tariffs?
I
still-
honestly don't understand how you guys talk about corporate
So
when you have no idea. Have you ever employed anybody? I've employed people. I've written out the taxes. I've written out the checks to the government.
Yep.
The reason, you know why you don't see very many like true leftist business people is because they have to sign the fucking check. to
No,
the
it's
government
because we
every
don't
single-
believe in it, you idiot. That's why I don't know. It's because we think it's
Let's do it.
immoral.
Oh,
That's why. Well, that's so you don't want to live off our teeth.
yeah,
I
you never
see.
employed anybody because you can't.
It's
Let's give it.
immoral.
Let's give it to irrelevant.
That's
who's trying
why.
to get into
Yeah,
it.
so to be clear, you guys are talking about, oh yeah, they're going to just pay their workers more or whatever. You understand, even still, if that was the case, that's going to make it so consumers also have to spend more on these products. You act like it's
And
a
their
perfect
wages
dance,
need to
and
go
that
up
there's going to
too.
be a perfectly adjusted
zero-sum
wage
game in it.
for everything. There's a reason why it's harder for people to afford education, housing, and things like this over time. Your guys' philosophy is that it should be perfect. Your ability to afford a home is the same as it was in the 50s as it is today. Laughable. Absolutely laughable. Your ability to buy a vehicle, your ability to afford an education. No, I'm not done.
Vehicles
Your
are
ability to
20
afford an
grand today.
education.
Well, let
all of
irrelevant
that
finish. Let
is
irrelevant
not
finish.
nearly as affordable for average people in even average households as it was in the past. This just mythical idea. Oh, businesses make money and they'll just pay us a proportional over time. It's just not true.
It's a
Anybody
fantasy.
with Google can prove it's not true. Not even Google. Anybody who's been alive for longer than 20 years can prove
Hey,
that.
I mean,
Pickup
what's
trucks
really
just
crazy
went
about
up
this is these are all
$20,000
problems
today.
that the left
The cost
caused.
of pickup trucks went up
yeah,
$20,000
yeah,
today.
yeah,
Where is
yeah.
the money going to come from for an American who wants to go buy a Ram 1500 to
What
pay
do you
the
think
extra
the
20
average
grand?
age of a home buyer in the 50s was? What do you think the average age?
What about the
I'm sorry,
average
say again?
wage?
What do you think was the average age of the average home buyer in the 50s?
I don't know what the average
Think they
age
were
of the average home
56
buyer
now.
was, but I do know that the
Think they were
average
30,
individual was
35,
more
40?
as a percent of their wage, they were more capable of affording a house than they are today.
By the
whose
way,
fault
that
is
age is
Well, hold on, I'll let Rick
56 now.
finish. I'll let Rick finish. I want to. Okay.
I mean, I think it's a mixture. I'm not going to say it's only Republicans' fault.
No,
I'll
it's not.
tell you
That's
whose
what you're
fault it is.
looking
I mean, 16 of the last 20 years we've had which president? We've had a Democrat, right? So yeah,
For 60 years, we haven't had one
16,
president for 60
1/6.
years, I'm afraid.
1/16,
So-
1/6
16.
for 16 of the last 20. Yes, 16 of the last 20
Okay.
years we've had a Democrat president, correct?
Sure. This goes back to
Okay,
Reagan.
so
Yep.
hold on. Okay, just follow my logic. And now the reason why the economy's in the dog shit and nobody can fucking buy anything is because of meddling in the economy by Democrats with overregulation
no.
and bad
Let
trade
me
deals
tell you
and
straight
bad
up.
foreign policy.
The
This is
problem
fact.
right now
It's
is
101.
your
It's
laissez-faire
simple. You can't
attitude.
sit here and blame.
Since
You
Reagan.
can't sit here and blame Trump and all these other people when we're sitting here trying to fix the mess y'all have had 16 years of the last 20.
I blame
Do it.
Reagan.
Just all
I
y'all
blame
got free
Milton
reign.
Friedman.
Y'all been fucking.
I blame
We're ready to make Reagan, bro.
Yes.
Reagan was the 30 years ago,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
Like 40
Reagan
years ago.
started
almost.
this
Let me
with
try this.
Friedman. I blame
Like-
him. I blame Bill Clinton. I blame George Bush. I blame Obama. I blame Trump. I blame all of them because it's all laissez-faire economics that is harmful to humanity. It's anti-human. Your ideology is literally a death
This
cult.
is
It's
socialism. That's
anti-human.
right. She said that.
You want people to suffer so you can gain from it, but you're not even
What about
aware
you,
that that's your
Papa?
ideology.
Yes, listen. Well, all right. You're a socialist. I got it. You're a purist. What about you, Papa? Let's talk about reality. What is your thoughts on
Purist,
that?
yes, sure.
You're gonna have to Papa. Who are you referring to?
I was looking to. I can't see his name. Irrelevant. No, is that your name?
Me?
He
No.
called you Daddy. Go ahead, Daddy.
I mean,
Yeah, I call everybody Papa. Yeah, everybody Papa.
all she was saying is that there's mechanisms by which people are responsible for these things. If you want to get into like whether or not those exact things that they're critiquing are socialist, you probably have to break them down. But I personally, for the reason that we're in this economic state, I wouldn't say that there's one particular thing, frankly, because I'm not fucking stupid. So I'm not going to blame just specifically Democrats or just specifically Republicans. What we are talking about right now, the context of this, is Trump tariffs, and that there is economists, very educated individuals, spent their entire lives looking into these things, looking that the projections are not good. The projections are not where you're claiming they are. right? And also, again, the stock market that we can materially see isn't in a good place. Also, when people are going to the grocery store, they're seeing stuff, they're seeing stuff that they don't like. They're seeing prices they don't like. So when you talk about the consumers, they're seeing stuff they don't like. We're talking about the experts, they're seeing stuff they don't like. And the investors are seeing stuff they don't like. I feel like you're trying to sell me that the sky is green. The sky is blue, brother.
So here's the thing. What's really interesting is now that I've been looking at this, is this is only a 4-month low. It's the low since October. So we've had gains up until then. So we've had one little hiccup now that's happened.
The S&P erased all its gains.
I don't know if you know this, but usually these things kind of go like this. And then they go up, there's little dips and edges. But, I don't know if you...
Yeah, do you think economists don't know that? So when they're making projections, they're just they totally forgot about the boom and bust cycle? You think they just, whoops, I forgot about a fundamental part of
because y'all are sitting here screaming, woe is us, after Trump has been in there for office
extreme fear.
With net gains, Trump's been there with net gains up until today, and y'all are sitting here going doom and gloom.
And all of those were erased today.
When y'all's best guy, Biden, had it at this point in October. So it's
every game that you're mentioning was erased today.
I'm just saying, wow, it's one little thing, and overall, it's not bad. It's just like most of this is just about projections. Projections don't mean nothing.
Do you believe
Results
in reality?
mean something.
The market is moving based off of extreme fear, according to the fear index. All of the gains that the market made since Trump got elected, going back to even November, have been erased just today. So, you're making shit up because all of that's gone. It's all gone. Okay. You think the line just, the line does zigzag sometimes, but occasionally the line goes really fucking far down. Can I ask you, what did the Great Depression start with?
Do you understand that?
Fuck 2008. Tariffs?
The Great Depression?
Yeah. It started because of tariffs, banking instability, and social... Literally, you people are destroying the economy. You have no idea. You're killing yourselves. You're harming yourselves.
Did you know that?
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
That's some kind of take on revisionist
I'm going to give Grit a chance to respond to some of this because he's been pretty quiet, and then we're going to wrap up the tariff thing. I do have one more question about that, but then we're going to move on to other portions.
I mean, it's an interesting thing to me because we have Trump and we leave Trump's economy and everything's great, and then everything goes to garbage. I mean, we were at I could have bought a house at 1.9% interest. In 90 days, you guys smoked it down and it became 7%, 6%, whatever the fuck it was. That's crazy. You're talking about buying a house. That's crazy. I really like the way that all of these appeal to authorities for the experts. I honestly don't care. I honestly don't care. I don't listen to experts very much because most of them are just trying to get in my wallet. I mean, look, I have people call me every day trying to tell me, hey man, I can predict market, bro. You want to make some money, come in on me. No, I paid more in taxes last year than I would give these people, which I actually paid a lot in taxes.
I want you to pay more in taxes.
I'm sorry?
I believe it. We believe that. That's something I believe.
Okay.
You do?
Yeah.
How much do you think I paid in taxes there?
I don't know, but not enough.
Don't take the bait. Of course you did. She wants you to pay all your...
I don't really care.
Okay. This I don't care also about how much you paid in taxes. I'm
just saying, you guys talk about soak the rich. You're sitting. I mean, you got me.
You're just happy because you get the Trump tax cuts.
I want to ask just
you get to take people's Medicaid money,
and then we'll move off the tariffs. I just want to ask one question. Can those of you who are supporting the Trump tariffs, can you point to me a tariff that in history that has made the economy better?
Sorry, what?
A tariff that has been implemented in the U.S. in the last, let's say, 100 years, that has made the economy better.
I mean, I didn't have my quick Google search, but we can look that up real quick. I mean, you're looking at it only from one perspective, right? If you look at it from a view, go ahead, Reed.
I know that, and I'll just pick on the auto industry for a minute. So I know getting rid of tariffs on our side made other countries rich. Japan is the best example, right? So, and it hurt American production. GM used to sell a shit ton of trucks and cars here, but the Japanese, I don't know, People wanted Japanese cars to come here. Japanese wouldn't, they would cost too much comparatively. So we did not and do not tariff Japanese vehicles coming in. But they tariffed every single car we put when we sent over there. They didn't want our cars there. So they would put this massive tariff on there.
Can I ask you what the point of tariffs are? Like, what do you think that the point of them are?
Well,
like, what's the tool used?
That's what I was going to go.
I'm explaining to you that they've hurt our country. So why is it that why do you think it's okay for every country to tariff our goods so that we can't compete offshore, and yet we subsidize other countries bringing their products in here? Why do you think that's okay? By the way, when the government is literally subsidizing this by not having a tariff on it, how does that benefit the
government? Literally did this by making it easier for American companies to go overseas for cheaper labor. Like, it's the same thing. I don't think that we need tariffs on other countries. I don't think that we should give a shit if they're tariffing us.
Wait, hold on.
I don't believe in protectionist policies working more often than not. The only one I can really agree with is the CHIPS Act. So, like, tariffs in general are trash.
But it's not a protectionist policy.
It is a protectionist. That's the whole point of tariffs. The point of tariffs is protection of your industry. It's so people can't bring cheaper goods that will drown out your production, and people buy the other foreign goods that are cheaper.
So you
put the tariffs on them, so it increases the price of foreign goods.
Economy by not having tariffs on Japanese vehicles.
So how does it help the economy? Wait, hold on. How does it help the American economy for prices to go up? How does that help the American economy? Because again, that's the point.
Right, well, hold on. How does it follow that if we put tariffs on Japanese cars so they can't bring them in, that American-made cars that are already made here are going to go up?
You know, American-made cars
because the reason why we're buying Japanese cars is because they're cheap and effective.
True, and also American cars have to cross the Canadian border 8 separate times as they're being built. You can go look at them. They're built in one piece. They cross the border. These pieces are added. They cross back to Canada. More is added. About 8 times a vehicle has to cross between.
Those too, honey.
Okay, so you want to pay for all of that. Again, $20,000. A Dodge 1500 just went up today.
I would just rather the factory be located in Michigan.
Okay, and what about the workers?
Not ship it across.
The workers are going to get paid more to
cover. I don't
cover.
care about Canadian workers.
No, I meant American workers. What about that?
I would just rather the factory be made in Michigan, and so I would care about American workers. I don't care about Canadian workers.
Okay, I'm not talking about Canadian workers. I'm talking about American workers.
Why would the wage go up? Good old-fashioned American workers that need to make American money, right? Let me read some super chats. Okay, cool. And then we'll keep going. $5 from Nonfon. Thank you for the $5 to say this. Trade is mutually beneficial. That's why it happens. The U.S. has not been hurt by trade, even if when countries have tariffs on us.
You should get Nonfon on for economic stuff. He's good.
He is. I've had him on before. I'll have him on again. $2 from Nonfon. Grid, debate me on tariffs on Gibbs' show. Okay, well, you guys can set that up.
Yeah, he really wants to debate me on tariffs.
And then $2 more from Nonfon, who's apparently funding my show today. Tariffs protect jobs at the cost of other jobs. Thank you for the $2. Okay, I think we've.
Can I say one thing before you move on, because I didn't get to answer that. I'll be quick. I'm sure.
Please.
But okay, so I'm not going to sit here and Google and go through all the U.S. history because I'm sure there's some example of one tariff somewhere that's done good that we can sit here and point. I'll point to more recent history from another country. We can look at China. They've had tariffs on us, taking advantage of us, and they become the largest economy in the world as of like 2015. So whenever you sit here and tell me tariffs don't work, well then you're telling me that China's economic policy is bad, and just based off what they've done since in the last 50 years. That means you're an idiot. It's that simple. China's very good economically, right? It's and part of that has been the tariff system. Now,
which has been protectionist
America
policies.
Specifically, hold on. The other thing is I don't see tariffs as purely an economic tool. I think they can hurt us economically sometimes. However, you might be doing this in order to get geopolitical gains in other areas, right? You might be doing this to send a message. I might tariff one person to send a message to another person.
Now,
I might do all sorts of different things. So as far as geopolitically concerned, I think tariffs have been wildly effective thus far.
Wick, I want to talk about geopolitics so much. Can we do that one instead?
Well, that's
next. Cool. I thought
you
were going to
transition then.
All right. How is it good for America to abandon all of our allies? and change the entire global order to ally with the Axis powers. Explain this to me. How is this a good thing?
The Axis powers.
We're literally going to be
Axis
dropping
powers.
Yeah,
That's great.
literally
let's
the people
go.
that are
Good one,
invading
bro.
other countries and killing them. The people who are not giving a shit about global law, order, not giving a shit about human
making
rights.
it-
What is that? Wait. You know, you're a purist. You were a purist. Say my ideology.
What do you
is
keep
evil.
saying
You know what
purist for?
ideology
Do you
is
have
evil?
any idea what-
International rules-based order. That is evil.
I
That
don't
is against
believe
the
in
norm.
pure
I'm
anything.
sorry. Don't believe
And I'm
that.
not saying that the order's even good. In fact, I agree with you. I'm happy that
Oh,
America
okay, then
destroyed
there's
the
no
entire
international
global
law then, so the
hegemony.
problem solved.
I'm just smart enough to know that it's not good for America. I'm happy this is happening.
Okay,
In
hold
fact,
on,
I
hold on.
want them
Wait,
to
hold
take
on.
it
So, like,
further.
when Rwanda
Can you clarify why it's not good
invaded
for America?
Because
Hold
we
on,
are
I got this.
because we are
I
now
wanna get this
isolated
right.
from all
When
of
Hold
our
on,
Rwanda
allies and
invaded
nobody
stop,
Africa-
trusts
Gibbs,
us.
stop,
Hold on,
Gibbs,
hold on.
stop,
Yeah, you're going way off
stop.
topic with it. I don't give a shit about that question.
No, I'm not
I
going
want to
very
answer
hard.
the question of why is
Grid
this
has,
bad for
yeah, Grid
America?
has to, hold on. We'll get to you. I promise.
Yeah,
But
Grid, it's
first
bad
of all,
for
Yeah, I just
America.
for my
I just
audience,
wanna clarify-
stop, both of you, because first of all, for my audience, you guys are using a lot of terms. My audience not so read so good, okay? So you're gonna have to define these terms, okay? So your international rules-based order, define it. Go.
Oh, Grid?
Me?
Me to do it, Grid?
Someone
Okay,
define
okay,
the
like,
international
I
rules-based
just-
order for my audience.
Literally the
Here's
United
the
Nations.
concept,
Don't
Okay,
piss
United
off the
Nations,
UN.
global
there's
hegemony,
laws
that kind
every
of thing.
country
Pax
has to
Americana.
follow, and borders don't change.
International
That's
law,
what it has to
war
be.
law, ICC and ICJ rulings, all of this stuff, right? Okay.
And to be clear, your stance is that the international rule-based order, Gibbs, I'm asking you
It's
this,
bullshit.
is bad for America.
Yeah, it's bad for America. It's bullshit.
And your stance, Visora, just so I get this clear, is that the international rule-based order is good for America.
I think that it is both good and bad in different ways for the entire world, and I think that it needs to be changed. Now, I'm not a fan of how this is being changed. I think this will hurt America. At the moment, I think America was better off with that rules-based order that they were in charge of.
I want to give Grid a chance to ask his question now that we got our
Yeah,
terms.
I appreciate that. So I'm just I before I get into it, I want to give my worldview on this because then you'll understand where I'm coming from. I'm an isolationist. I don't believe that we should be giving other countries American tax dollars for anything. I really don't. I really don't think that we should be giving Germany money just for being Germany. I don't think that we should be giving the UK money. I don't think that they should be able to have the the ability to depend upon the might of the almighty U.S. taxpayer to provide the protection from which they sleep every night. They should have their own armies. They should have their own everything, right? Like that's fine. I don't want to be the world police. I think it's a suck ass job and we shouldn't do it. So that's my worldview. So
Okay.
and mostly it's mostly I come at this from a why are we spending all of our money and time defending other nations?
Because it's
You know,
morally
and so
correct.
I'm very curious as to why you think that we should and why you think it benefits America to do so.
Because it's A, we should do it just because it's morally correct, but B, it benefits America because we do this and gain soft power, which means we gain influence. We get more from all of these countries than we give them. A significant amount more. We get investment, we get workers, we get alliances that protect us both in trade and militarily, we get assistance, we get intelligence. Australia, for example, major US ally, Five Eyes. We had a deal to sell shit to them, like AUKUS was to sell nuclear submarines. They have in a US and Australian joint military base in the middle of Australia, which is how we can see China, the Middle East, most of Russia. Pine Gap exists because of this. You would not have this, which means you would not, A, have intelligence, being available to you for US defense, at least not in the wider capability. But at the same time, the point of being a global hegemon is not to just give shit away freely. It's not like we did this out of the goodness of our hearts. America was the global hegemon because we stole from these countries. USAID gave money to shit, right? And all you right-wingers are like, oh, I don't want to pay for HIV medicine in Africa. Why do you think we do that? It's not because we give a shit about the Africans who have HIV. We do that because it gives America influence. It counters China's Belts and Roads, at least now it does, because that started well before China's Belts and Roads. And see, it gives us connections to these governments, which we can use when we want to extract something from those governments.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, what you said
that
sounds
is the
real
most
pretty and
absurd
all.
thing. I'm sorry, Gibbs. That's the
Oh, go
most
ahead.
absurd
I
thing
wanna
I've
go
heard
to
in
you.
a very long time. I have to say, I don't normally hear such things in my daily life, and that was great. So let me get this straight. Not one country from World War II, except for Finland, has ever paid back their war debt. And you think it's okay for us to just keep giving them money, and then somehow that builds our
Yes,
social
I do.
credit score?
No.
Are you going to say social credit score?
No.
Are you? Come on, say it. Come on.
I
I know
don't
you want
believe
to.
in that
It's
shit.
okay.
I don't believe in that
Oh,
shit.
but
Stop
you
being so
just said
fucking
that
condescending
that's
with your
why
little
we go down to
fedora
Africa,
neckbeard incel
because we
ass.
owe
Shut
these
down,
people.
shut the
We
fuck up
don't
instead
owe
of putting
shit.
words in my
We
mouth.
didn't steal anything.
We
I
are
mean, you did
stealing
basically say that.
constantly. And on top of this, I don't believe in a social credit score, but yes, you know what? I don't think they should have to pay that debt. I don't think they should. I don't think Ukraine owes us any money either. I think that it's morally right, and we gain more from it in the long term.
$550 billion. You don't think they owe us money?
No, I don't.
You
At
fucking
all.
crazy?
For Ukraine or Europe? Ask me
Gibbs,
which. Pick one.
Gibbs.
Ukraine
Yeah,
or
I don't
I
know.
know who I'm borrowing money from next time.
hold on, Ukraine or
Brian,
Europe?
I'm saying,
You
bro,
think Ukraine owes
you don't
us
have to pay
money?
it. You don't have to pay
Because
it
we
back,
didn't give
bro.
a cent.
Okay.
We didn't give a
Hey,
dollar to
you got 40
Ukraine.
bucks I can borrow?
We
You got
didn't
40
give a
bucks you can
dollar
borrow?
to
I promise
Ukraine.
you'll pay
What
back.
we did is we sent them old military equipment that was about to be decommissioned, and then we bought new ones from U.S. military companies. That money that Ukraine somehow received just went to Lockheed, Raytheon, Boeing. Like, none of that went
Big fan.
not a single dollar of that went to Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, so all of what you said is well and good, and I don't give a shit. I'll tell you why. Because when I look at international rules-based order, it's bullshit. It fucks
I agree.
us. Let's look at Rwanda. I'm gonna. They were involved recently. I don't know if y'all know y'all's African history, but they were recently involved in the biggest war since World War II.
It was a
Largest loss
genocide.
of life was the Great. Yeah, it was a crazy shit happened. Right.
It was literally a
They had about
genocide.
2 or 3 other wars before that. But guess what? Rwanda has taken over policing from France in Africa. They now also are the biggest provider of troops to the UN for UN peacekeepers. Now, all of this has some merit, importance to this conversation for this reason right here: the rare earth minerals. The DRC used to be Zaire, has a bunch of them, and Rwanda, a U.S.-backed ally and UK-backed ally, just invaded last year, and now controls them. And they went from not even having rare earth minerals in their area to now being the leader in the on the continent for rare earth mineral production. And guess where they all go?
Citation
Here. So when I say international rules, this
Citation
order is bullshit. It's saying we're getting. I mean, cool. You can go watch Real Life Lore. There's like an hour long video on it.
Yes, that's true. That's a citation. I wanted I don't know, like a news article, maybe like economic statements.
They have the site for the. I mean, you can Google it. You want it right here? Look, just
No,
go
I wanted
Google
you to
top
say it.
producers
I don't need to Google.
I don't need to
you
do
need
this
to back
for
up
you.
your claim.
Listen,
You're making
it is
the
not
claim.
my job.
Yes,
I think
it
the claim,
is.
cool, and my claim is backed up by Google.
You're
It's
literally
not
in
that
a
hard.
debate. It is your
Hold on,
job to
listen,
back your claim.
You haven't
If
done
I
any
say
of
the
your claims.
sky
The
is
only thing
purple,
you
I
asked
have to
me-
prove
Hold
to
on,
you that
I gave you the source.
okay.
I gave you
The
one source. Hold on.
Hold on,
I
the
can't even get my point out
audacity of
because
saying
she's
that you don't have
screaming
to back
over
your
me saying the
claim?
source.
Why am
I
I
already
even
said
here?
my
Wait,
source,
hold on,
and
hold
you
on,
chose
hold
not
on.
to
Just
listen.
shut up. All of you, all of you,
Wait,
all of you.
I'm about
all of
to
you,
leave
shut up.
if we're having a conversation in which someone can say, I don't have to back my
I
claim and we're
already
having a
gave
literal
my
fucking
source and
debate.
you didn't accept it, and
You
then I
gave
gave
me
two.
the
You
name
didn't
of a
back up
YouTube
single
video.
source. Hold on. I've already posted 3 article things here about the sources here in
Where?
multiple chats.
Where?
You posted
Where?
0. So I
Where?
mean, maybe I didn't post it in ours, but I could
No
post
one
it on my
asked me
other
for a
shit here.
source to post. I don't have anything to see. The chat
Oh,
says
my-
messages failed to load is what it says, but like understand
I
like
don't see
I
any.
wanted a real source.
I don't see any
I mean-
sources.
And even
posted in
if
the group
even if
chat.
it was just the
Okay,
video,
fine. I posted
all
them
I
in
said
the
was
Twitch chat, but I'll post whatever.
all
But
I-
anyway, you got to
I
go
just
right
wanted
here. Let
a
me just pull up
source.
the little Rwanda thing.
I
Oh,
know
sure.
what
I gave you
Rwanda
one.
is.
Real life lore. I gave you
Okay,
one right there.
hold
Real
on,
life
stop,
lore.
because
And
we
you
are
didn't
we are
accept it.
far. I have lost the point.
Oh, I haven't even
okay?
got to say my
Gibbs,
point
be
because she's
concise with
interrupted
your
me.
point.
I'm
and then we'll
being
carry
concise.
on.
Hold on,
Concise,
wait,
concise,
I
concise.
object. I will be. It's funny that I'm being told to be concise when I got interrupted before my second sentence. But here's the thing: they have become the number one producer on the continent for rare earth minerals. You can look. Real Life Lore is the source. If you want to go do further research, there you go. But now, as for that information,
Citing a YouTube video.
they provide most of their trading of rare earth minerals to the United States and the UK. It clearly is in our benefits to go and back some of these countries sometimes to invade other countries, especially when they're aligned with foreign powers or that are adversarial to us. And for you to sit here and go, oh no, it doesn't benefit us. Well, what has it benefited us so far to be in NATO? It's European centric. It should be American centric. Instead, we're over here having to pay way more than anybody else on our GDP for our military, while Greece and Italy don't even pay 1%. And they're sitting here backing them. It's crazy.
Why
They're
do
just
you,
been
why
taking
do you
advantage
think
for
that we
years.
should need to, as the
And
richer and more powerful country?
Y'all are so stuck on the status quo that y'all can't accept reality that alliances change due to geopolitical
No, we
changes
can't. In
throughout
fact,
history.
we can't.
And guess what?
Understand
Maybe
that-
the tides are turning. Maybe there's new
Yeah,
alliances that need to be
we're
made.
going with the bad people. That's the point. The problem is we are joining alliances with the evil countries, the countries that don't care about human life, that are literally authoritarian run fascist dictatorships.
Yeah, the socialist
take that
countries,
away from the socialist country. Yes, sure, the person who literally could not define socialism. Take this on top of that, right? First of all, you're citing me a fucking YouTube video, then you're talking
Wait, do you
about
think Russia
bullshit
is
in
socialist?
Yeah, this
No, I
idiot
think
probably
China
does.
got socialist elements.
Neither
Okay,
of
do you
those are
disagree that we're
socialist.
aligning
Juche is
ourselves with
socialism.
Russia?
Neither of those are
Juche is
socialist.
socialism.
They have market
Yeah, I'm
economies.
sorry. North Korea is absolutely socialist.
But again, no.
I want hold on.
Really quickly, I just want to respond to what Gibbs
Really
said.
quick.
95% of the rare earth elements in Africa are controlled by China, first of all. Secondly, China is not a socialist country. It has a market economy. Literally, definitionally not socialist.
Yeah, they don't
That's
have
it. That's all I wanted to point out.
You're right.
Irrelevant asked a question
She's
I
right.
want an answer to. Right? Irrelevant asked a question you want an answer to. Can you ask the last question you just did? I don't want to mess it up. Irrelevant. You asked if you think you're aligning with China or Russia or something.
Are we, from your perspective, are we aligning ourselves with Russia? Gibbs?
With Russia? Are we aligning ourselves with Russia? No, I mean, I would hope not. But if we are, then whatever. I mean, like, I'm open-minded.
Can I post
You
a link
hope
to
not?
a?
Do you think,
I
do you think
personally-
calling Zelensky a dictator, pulling military aid from Ukraine, and
listen,
saying
hold
that
on.
and refusing to call Vladimir Putin a dictator? Do you think maybe that would be aligning ourselves with Russia?
I'll say something shocking.
I
I have
just
been the
linked
most avid
something.
supporter of the Ukraine here on the right, and I know of in the right circles, because I own military industrial complex stocks. There's some of the ones I own, and guess what? The ongoing war increases my money. So hey, I've been backing the Ukraine play.
Oh,
However,
okay, so you're literally evil then.
hold
You're
on,
a demon.
shh. Cool, you happy demon. You're right, absolutely. Anyway, Zelensky acted like a baby back bitch in the Global Office and threw a little tantrum, and he got his baby bottom powdered and tossed out on his face. And guess what? When you act like that, aid gets frozen. It's that simple. You need to sit here and prostrate yourself and grovel when your country.
Can you tell me one thing that Zelensky said that should have had the aid to his country frozen?
When he called the vice president of the United States a bitch.
Are you talking about the super muffled audio that sounds like he could have said like several things? Is that what you're referring to?
Following
Are you referring
JD
to?
being asked if he had ever been to
people for
Ukraine,
left.
and him responding with, "I've seen videos of it." Okay, look.
I mean,
understand right here. First of all, I posted a link to it's a Reuters link that's saying
Where are you all posting these things?
I posted
Because
it in this chat. In this chat, like there's a show chat button.
Post in the group chat.
I put it in this chat.
So we can all see it.
It says show chat. I pressed that button and I posted it. Can you guys see it?
Okay, don't do that because that's bugged. On my
Okay,
Discord.
so where should
post
I
it
post
in the group chat in the Discord? In the Discord, the group chat, I've
the one that
in.
you put us all in. Sure.
Posted that, please.
There it is.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay.
Now, on
Great.
top
Now
of
we
that,
can
I would just like to add in that wait, sorry, I forgot what the last thing you said was, because you say too many like random things all at once. Gibbs, what was the other point that you were making beside from we might not be partnered with Russia, but if we are, oh, sorry, yes, it was the fact that you're a literal demon, that you make money off of the death of other people, and you're happy about it. I think stocks are immoral in general, but if you're literally investing in stocks in defense companies, and you are happy that conflict continues because of this, then you're gonna burn in hell for all eternity, and I'm very happy for that. I'm not even Christian. But listening to you talk makes me hope that the Christians are right.
Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna go buy some more now, just because you
We
said
are
that, I
right.
think.
Enjoy that.
I'm curious. Grid, do you have the same opinion on the Zelensky thing?
Yeah,
That
I mean,
Go
I can
ahead.
get into that. Yeah, so I think what Zelensky did was poor form. He should not have done any of the shit that he did on this stage. As far as us like aligning with Russia, look, you guys, come on. This has been the narrative since Trump even decided to run. Was that Russian collusion?
Yeah, all of it was
Putin this,
correct.
Putin that, all of that,
Do you deny
nonsense.
Russian interference in the elections?
That was proven.
You mean
that is proven.
Pumped up dossier? Are we going to get into the dossier?
No, I'm
No.
asking
Which is
from
also
your
legal,
point of
by
view.
the
It's a
way.
very basic question, bro.
You guys have been exposed
Did
to liars so many times.
Russia
You can't even get
interfere?
into that.
Did Russia
But
interfere in the 2016 election?
Did Russia interfere in the 2016 election?
Yeah, and we could even talk about the 2020 or the
2024
the most
with
recent.
the 40
Yeah,
bomb threats.
we could talk about any of these.
Are we
but yeah,
about
did
to
Russia
argue over election interference? Is that what we're
For
about
the
to do?
exhaustive FBI investigation that showed that the Steele dossier was completely fabricated and paid for, you
That
asked
FBI
that
agent who
question.
said that is now in prison for Russian collusion, by the way. Like the literal FBI agent who announced that is now in prison for Russian collusion. So
Yeah, but the person who
The guy
paid
who
for the
said that's
dossier
not.
is not. So why is that? Why is
the
that?
question you still haven't answered though: did Russia collude in 2016
I have no
She
clue.
didn't want to answer that
they
question,
did.
did
What do
she?
you mean you have no idea? Wait, why are you?
No clue.
Wait, why are you even? It's a very. You can literally Google this. If we, Gibbs here, you can literally Google this instantly and find
Google that
a
shit, dude.
litany of intelligence
Whatever.
documents showing. You can find a litany of intelligence documents showing you that it is the case.
just this year?
Russia did interfere.
We had intelligence
There is no
documents
debate
showing
on that.
this
Let me
year
prove.
of Russia, China,
Let me prove.
India, Turkey, Israel, like literally
I don't
every
care
country in the
look,
world
you just
interfered
made-
with
look,
our election.
You just called Gibbs on making a claim.
Sure.
Prove it.
What would count as proof to you?
Prove it, yeah.
The intelligence
What would
documents
count as
aren't proof?
is
Yeah,
a
so we can
literal
bring up
FBI
intelligence
finding that there was
documents and
a literal
we can-
FBI or CIA finding in the world court saying there was Russian collusion.
In the
Well, you don't
world
even have to be
court?
world court.
Wait, so now
Or
we have
no,
to go
it
into
doesn't even have to be
international
world court,
politics
just
now?
FBI. An FBI and a literal FBI finding that there was Russian collusion aiding Donald Trump. That would be
Okay.
fucking great if you could do that.
Russian bomb threats.
Wait,
Anyway.
Russian collusion
Or
Russian interference?
Interference. Yeah, interference is the
Well,
word.
interference. Wait, I don't understand.
Okay,
That's a
let me
nebulous
clarify.
term.
Stop, so we can clarify because you're about to talk about two different things, and I want to make sure you're talking about the same thing. So there's two threads here. The question that Irrelevant asked was there Russian interference in the election, which is a different thing than Russian collusion. The Russian collusion was Trump and Russia colluded in order to get Trump elected. That is one claim. The question, though, that Irrelevant asked is, did Russia interfere in the election, which does not require collusion?
I just posted a link from the FBI, by the way, about that.
Yeah, give me a second. I got to get over to it. It's on an entirely different monitor.
Okay. And it's a simple question. Do you think that Russia interferes in the American election?
Hold on. Did you literally post this thing about threats that have there's literally no proof? It literally says none of the threats have been determined to be credible thus far. Seriously?
Credible as in like there was no bomb. They were just bomb threats. The point of the bomb threat isn't to bomb anything, it's to scare people.
Which appear? Holy, look, please stop.
No, Grid, that is a very basic thing. They called in a false bomb threat to clear out a polling place.
It literally says, many of which appear not proven. There's no proof. I asked
literally
for proof.
because
Wait,
yes,
are you reading a single word
Do you
out
think
of
that
that
the
thing and then
FBI
acting like you understand the whole? Bro,
Do you
you're
think the
headline
US
scamming
government
right
is
now,
going
bro.
to
There's
put
no
out
shot. We're live, bro.
Appears to be
Button
President
up.
Trump, a mistake. Can
You're
I say
so
just
right,
I
man.
randomly say appears? Come on, man.
Do you think
can't
that
do
a
that.
government agency like
Dude.
the FBI is going to write black and white writing like that when none of this has been taken to a
Yes,
court of law?
all the damn time. I
No.
deal with them. I deal with them all the time. They do not. They do not.
You're lying.
If it says
If it has no
if it says
proven
appears,
law, if it's not been to court, if it involves a foreign
how many
country
more
that's
straws
possibly
do you need to grasp
hostile,
at, lady?
How many more straws do you need to grasp at? You're living in a delusional fantasy
I'm not
land.
grasping.
You
I'm
think that
literally
America...
asking for proof. I said prove
The
it.
FBI isn't
You
proof
can't.
then. Yeah, sure. Okay. This is why I never
Appears
even
is not
bother to
proof.
talk to MAGA, because all of you
so
retards won't
smart.
even look at a
This
piece of
came from a
paper
Russian
and read it
server.
when it's given to
This
you.
is the
You're
address
asking
that
for
you came
evidence
from.
that you're
That's
too
proof.
dumb to comprehend.
No,
Again,
you were the stupid
65%
one
of
here
Americans can't
because
even fucking read.
You think appears means proof.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think it
appears.
means
Yeah.
proofs.
You do.
I think it means that 60 appearances of possible bomb threats that originate from Russia in this election
It does not
added
say
on
originates from
top
Russia.
of...
It says appears.
Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a
Appears
question.
to
Don't leave out
originate
words.
from
Don't
Russia,
leave out
plus
words.
the
Don't
last
leave out
few
words.
years.
It did,
Anyone who
can I ask
has
you a
some,
question?
I don't know, ability to do critical thinking can put the pieces together and find the timeline of a consistent action of this keeps happening. What keeps happening, and every time it's pointed in the same direction, so likely, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Absolutely embarrassing.
I mean, hold on.
It's
Yes,
terrible.
I'm embarrassing. Of course. Again, this is why you never even bother with these people. You're asking for information that you're not going to read because you don't want to read.
Wait, hold on. Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail
She should be.
for the Steele dossier, which we actually have proof she paid
Hey,
for?
weren't you all mad about Benghazi? What about Elon Musk setting up private servers in the Treasury and taking your information? How about that? Because everyone was mad about Hillary with Benghazi. Do you think it's okay?
I love the fact that you go from read only to stealing my information.
Do you think that read only means fucking anything? You can literally copy and paste from a read only file.
Okay. We are. I would like to remind everyone the topic of today's discussion.
There's all the Russian interference in the world. I will grant all of it. How does Trump treating Putin with respect mean that we're aligning with him?
He's a literal war criminal who has wanted warrants out for his arrest. Was
that Yahoo?
I would give. Hold on. I want to give Irrelevant a chance to answer that question.
Yeah. Can we start with a basic just heat check here? Did Russia invade Ukraine?
Yeah. After Putin said, "If you cross this line, I'm going to go to war with you."
What line?
And they crossed the line.
What line?
That's not my take, but
yeah, that's not what happened.
Okay.
Right.
So
I'm curious. What line? What line did they cross?
Russia wanted continued access to the only all season deepwater port. Ukraine said, "No, that's ours. We're going to keep it. We're going to tax you for it. You're going to pay us."
It is
Putin
theirs.
said, "No, it's been historically it's been we've had access." And
okay.
He said, "If you close this off, if you force my hand, we'll go to war."
How about?
And he put tanks all along the border.
Flip this.
No, stop. Let me deal with this. No. Okay,
you would never make that argument.
Just to be clear, and so I understand, Grid, your argument here is that because Ukraine refused to cede the territory of the water port, right?
Are we talking about Crimea here?
Season water port, right?
Are we talking
about? We're not talking about Crimea. We're not.
Well,
because
that's where the war started.
It's not Sebastopol. I always want.
Crimea was 2014.
That's when the war started.
Whole thing.
They were occupying Ukraine since then.
We're talking about the invasion. Okay, well, let me ask Grid. Are you talking about the 2014 thing, or are you talking about the 2022?
Yeah, it's important to clarify.
The 2022 thing, when after Crimea happened. Putin and Trump came to a deal. Putin backed off.
Minsk agreement.
Zelensky became aggressive to Russia again, and Putin's just not a guy that you punch in the balls. And
you were providing nothing. First of all, you're stumbling your words because you're making this shit up as you go along.
Hold on.
I'm not making this up.
It's really important that I understand what he is saying. So again, Grid, what line in 2022 did Ukraine cross that justifies in your mind?
Yeah, it wasn't a line on a map, okay? It was the line that
what ultimatum did they refuse to do?
Remember, Trump went to Putin and said, "Putin, I've worked this out. Everything's good. Ukraine's good. We're all good. Crimea's good. We're no fighting. No fighting, guys." Remember that? Do we all remember that?
The Minsk agreement?
2017, 2018?
No, the Minsk agreements weren't with Trump.
Well, I know it wasn't with Trump,
Well,
but it was
Trump was
broken under
president,
Trump.
but Trump
Yeah.
had nothing to do
Trump
with
was Trump was president anyway. So
But
Putin
no, I don't
backed
remember
off,
the
right?
2018
Putin backed off. He was like, "All right, cool. I'm good.
I don't remember this.
I don't care anything about Ukraine at the moment." The minute Trump left office, Putin's like, "Okay, I'm going to continue to not be aggressive, but Zelensky was, and that's just my take on it. If you have proof that I'm wrong, go for it."
Okay.
No,
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like, what
I
did he
don't
just
understand.
say?
He just made some shit
Hey,
up. That's
I
what he
mean,
just said, Irrelevant.
Hold on,
I'm not gonna-
are y'all trying to get a gotcha on Grid? I
No,
can try
we're
to
just
elaborate
trying
on
to
what he's saying, but-
understand where you guys
can't hear you,
are on
Gibbs.
the like. What's your? We're like all Irrelevant was trying to do was get a heat check, and it was successful in that neither of you believe in reality. The question was, did Russia invade
Hold on,
Ukraine
I didn't even
or not?
answer. I haven't
It
even
was just
answered,
that.
so
I know.
neither of us believe in
What is
reality.
your answer? Did
This is- you know
Russia
what he's
invade
talking about,
Ukraine?
like, stock is immoral. I mean,
Did
we're talking about
Russia
I live in
invade
status
Ukraine?
quo.
I did say Russia invaded
No,
Ukraine.
not
Yeah.
you. We got your answer, great, but I'm asking Gibbs. Did
Yeah,
Russia
so-
invade Ukraine?
Oh yeah, I'll give you a real simple answer. Russia did what they wanted and they invaded Ukraine. It's real simple. People they can't come up with some bullshit reason. What did Putin say in that interview? Something about ethnic Russians. Let's boil it
His
down. I'll boil it
reasoning
down.
was that
Hold
he
on,
was
I got
afraid.
you let me finish. Let me finish.
I thought I was just adding into you.
Hold
Sorry,
on.
my
I'm just saying.
apologies.
Putin straight up just made up some bullshit himself. So something about ethnic Russians and invaded. I'm not sitting here pretending that that's not what he did. I don't. So you're not gonna sit here and get me with a
Okay.
gotcha on that shit. He just came in there, just like every country in the world comes up with some bullshit. I used Rwanda as an example earlier. They invaded the DRC to protect ethnic Tutsis, right? Like that's something all these countries do all
America
the time
with the drug
to
cartels.
do whatever they want. Yeah, like sure. I mean, sure, we can do that with the cartels right now. We can protect American interests by invading Mexico.
That's what
I
we're
mean,
gonna do.
it's I hope so. It would be fantastic. But like, regardless, yeah, I don't see what your heat check is here for that. I mean, if we're gonna sit here and argue about the like,
Well, let's
brief
ask
history of
Irrelevant.
Well,
things,
you're
why
just-
Yeah, so it was a
Hold
very
on,
basic
stop.
question to be able.
Irrelevant. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it was a very basic question because there is a catastrophic amount of conservatives who refuse to believe that Russia, including the president of the United States, who refuse to believe that Russia invaded Ukraine. I don't feel like this is a crazy thing with the president of the United States, the person that you two, Grid and Gibbs, have come here to so staunchly to defend, denies that Russia invaded Ukraine. I feel like this isn't a wild question, and it brings us to it grounds us in reality, because I can accept what you said there, Gibbs. You know, there's a lot of times that people wage war for bullshit reasons and stuff like that. This was one of them. And now when there is somebody who has a war that's waged on them for bullshit reasons, I think it not only is in our geopolitical interests to be able to protect this entity for just totally selfish gain, right? Let's talk about the alleged $500 billion in rare earth minerals. Guess what? If Ukraine doesn't exist, Russia gets those minerals. If Ukraine does exist, we got a shot. We got a chance at being able to do that. And it's not even just a chance, it's very realistic. There is a pattern, a history of us projecting soft power and then getting favorable trade deals with the countries that we project soft power with. That's why we do it. So the idea that there is absolutely no purpose for us doing it, it's ridiculous. Also, just to put this out there, because we touched on it a bit earlier, we have $30 billion in loans that we have given to Ukraine. We're getting $30 billion back from that. Just to be clear, the idea that we're just handing over all money and stuff like that, and the vast majority of it, as previously mentioned, is military equipment.
So you say we're going to get this money back, and my question is when? And Grid brought this up earlier, and y'all tried to hand wave it away, but we never got our money back from World War II.
We didn't ask for
Why
that.
would these countries?
We did.
Yeah, we did. Oh, listen.
England, actually, I was wrong, by the way.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. I did forget about that. You're right. We did ask for it back.
One fact check. One of my chat fact checked me and said that England actually was the second country to pay us back in like 2008. $83 million was the final payment.
Yeah, so my point is most of these countries haven't paid us back, and they've said, they've sucked on our teeth. A lot of them don't pay their fair way in NATO. Ukraine was before 2022. Did you know we had a higher trading partner, like GDP trade partner limit, whatever the number is? I can't get my words together here. With Haiti than we did with the Ukraine. So when you're sitting here acting like Ukraine's this big, they might be a big influence of Europe. It's like, okay, I get it, but hey,
You don't
sometimes
understand
you
the
should
point of
say
Ukraine.
it's not our problem. But hold on. Listen. First of all, I want the war to continue forever, and because guess what? I make a bunch of money.
Well, yeah, because you're a demon.
Hell yeah!
But like,
and
you don't
Russia,
even understand the war.
Yeah, we got that.
You're a
And
demon.
Russia,
We get that,
and
but
Russia,
you don't know
and
the
Russia,
war. You don't
and Russia
understand the
isn't
map.
Russia. Shh, I'm talking.
Don't fucking shush me.
And
You don't
Russia,
know what the hell you're talking about. No,
Russia
I can't do this,
is
man.
listen,
You're fucking
listen,
retarded.
cool.
You don't even know the
fine.
map.
I mean, listen, hold on. I don't want to appeal to credentialism, but my undergrad, I got a political theory from a D1 university. I got a minor in history, and then I got 3 certificates from a presidential library in political theory. You can go fuck yourself when you tell me you don't know.
None of that means
I
fucking
don't know
anything
anything.
if you don't
So,
understand the fact that Ukraine
you don't
isn't
understand.
important for
Yeah, okay, cool.
economic
You get
reasons.
your
It's
credentialism.
important
But hold
because
on,
it's the
but
entry
you won't even
point
let me
into
finish.
Europe for an
You won't even let me
invasion.
finish, so you don't even
fuckwit.
know what I'm talking
fuck
about.
this
But
shit.
cool.
I'm out,
Yeah,
man.
cool,
I can't deal with these retards.
All right, cry some more.
So that was that. I think it was a good idea to see what the other side thinks like for some of you. Because we talk about a lot of stuff, and I make a lot of claims. I talk about how the fact that these people are a death cult, they're demons, they hate everything, they don't believe in reality, and these are claims that need to be proven. And I mean, I feel like that did a pretty good job of that, did it not? I mean, they're talking about, I want the war to go on forever. Literal demon shit. Did he say a D1 university? He did, and who gives a shit? Yeah, I'm done with the like honey and the shushing and the focusing. I'm not doing that. I want to be respected, and I understand that when I'm in a debate with like right-wingers, I'm not gonna be respected, but that was like a whole other level. It's just they don't believe in any reality.